Traditionally one of the most enjoyable events on the calendar because of the hospitality of the people of the area, the competitors were soon down to the serious business of rallying, with the first special stage at Lutz Park in Nelspruit. For some, the rally got off to a bad start, with Peter Altersky and Alan Bissett in their Class A Toyota Conquest, the first of 4 crews to put their car on its roof at a tricky little corner on the first stage. This stage was laid out to show spectators just what rallying is all about, and luckily for the Toyota crew, there were enough hands to help them back onto the road. The incident cost them about 8 minutes, and they faced an uphill struggle to make up for lost time. An interesting entry was the Class A Hyundai Accent in the hands of last year's winner Enzo Kun and Johan Silling. The car is the only one of its kind in the world and is usually driven by Zimbabwe's Billy Rotenbach. Making a welcome return to national rallying was Chuck van der Walt, partnered by Cindy Harding, in the only Formula 2 spec rally car in South Africa. The meticulously prepared Class B Volkswagen Golf set up some great times and immediately took the lead in its class. Class C championship leaders and favourites, Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley in their Toyota Conquest, started to feel the effects of the dust problem, but nevertheless took the early lead in their class. Terry Brunt and Jeff Tyrup in their Class C Volkswagen Golf put pressure on the leaders from early on to try and force them into a mistake. Chasing the early pace setters in Class B were Paolo Piazzamuzzo and Mike Connolly in their Fiat Uno Turbo. A titanic battle was developing between the other 2 Class C frontrunners and the Toyota Conquest of Trevor Graham and Peter Chadwick, with very little difference in the stage times of all 3 crews. The tricky conditions soon started to take their toll on the competitors, and for Brady Dabner and Guy Hodgson in their Class A Toyota Conquest, a blown engine signalled the end of their rally.
What happened, Brady? Blew the engine. Put on a phone.
Up front, Natal crew of Jan Habak and Douglas Judd in their Class A Volkswagen Golf were trying to shake the jinx that has plagued them all season. They were chasing runaway championship and overall leaders at this stage of the Sasol rally, Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide in the Class A Toyota Conquest. Unfortunately for Habak and Judd, the car hit something in one of the fast corners, and they had to complete the stage on only 3 good wheels, losing a lot of time in the process. Meanwhile, the Toyota crew of Damso and Bonafide were extending their Class A and overall lead, running without any mechanical problems and coping well with the dust problem, which plagued everyone in the field except for the car running first on the road. Benefiting from Habak and Judd's misfortune, the Class A Nissan Sentra of Hannes Robler and Pierre Aris moved into 2nd position, but there was little they could do in the face of the dominance of the Toyota crew. The Class B Fiat Uno Turbo of Paolo Piazzamuzzo and Mike Connolly was going extremely well until a fast corner caught them out and they landed in a ditch. Recovery was impossible and they had to throw in the towel. Fortunately, none of the crew was injured in the incident. Trevor Graham and Peter Chadwick in their Class C Conquest were now leading the class after misfortune hit Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley earlier on. In Class D, Barry Frobelar and Thilo von Westerhagen in a Volkswagen Golf were leading, chased by championship leaders Tjernes Viljoen and Andre Vermeulen in an Uno. Another of the Class C contenders was the Volkswagen Golf of Sergei Esterhazy and Johan Barnard. In Class A, Hannes Frobelar and Pierre Aris ran into a time penalty problem for taking lateness when repairing a damaged side shaft and were trying their utmost to make up for lost time. Terry Brunt and Jeff Tyrup in their Volkswagen Golf were chasing Class C leaders Trevor Graham and Peter Chadwick in their Toyota Conquest, but they too were running out of time. In Class D, Tjernes Viljoen and Andre Vermeulen were storming through the field, but they also had to contend with 2nd place behind Barry Frobelar and Thilo van Westerhagen. With both Chart van der Walt and Paolo Piazzamuzzo falling out in Class B, the lead was taken over by Tony Ball and Barky Olivier in their Volkswagen Golf. But nothing could stop the flying Damso and Bonafide, who took their 4th national rally victory in a row this season and are now well on their way to a 4th consecutive national title.